language learning. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. We have an English language center that started in 1968, and it's good. You used it, Cohen, didn't you? And you found them to be quite good, I think. And we can do things if we needed to with courses, but it's more time and money. The thing we find with students that will come in with English skills like yours is that the drop-in program, the advising program, where you go and consult, you say, I'm having trouble with, and they will help you with that part. So you don't have to do a lot of things you can already do. You can ask them about exactly what is troubling you or what you're struggling with. And the people there, in my experience, have been excellent. We don't know what the housing will be at this time. It's too early. We want to think about using homestays. We've never done that before, where you would live in the home of an American family. It is a great experience to see usually American children in their families, to see American adults, to do the things those families do. It is the fastest way I know to increase your language skill in English. We don't know. We haven't tried it, so we might. We also might look at apartment rentals. We might look at graduate student housing. We have several options. We've not decided what. But what we're going to consider is the transportation to the schools where you will be fairly available. We will look at the quality of the housing, the costs. We just haven't done all that yet. And we will consider your preferences. One other thing I should mention. I will only rarely allow an international student to be alone someplace. I will almost always put you together in pairs. The reason is that there's cultural comfort in that, but the second reason is you will teach each other from your own experiences. If you have an experience in teaching chemistry with some oxidation reduction laboratory, and you have an experience and see something done differently, you will learn from each other. So I will almost always try to have people at least in pairs. So you're going to be supported by a lot of people. Several STEM faculty members, and I'm proud to say that I like these people. They're very capable, some of the best people in the country, faculty in the country, and they love working with students. You'll work with experienced teachers. I run another program, have for 11 out of the last 13 years, where I bring Americans here to teach in Thai schools for 3 weeks and live with Thai graduate students from SWU. Anybody here from SWU? We do this through the Science Center. Oh yeah, you were in the program. And so what I want to try to do is to go back to the people that have come here. It's probably almost 100 people. See if they're still in the area. See if they'd be willing to have you be in their classrooms, maybe even live with them. I don't know. You'll have graduate students in our programs who are in the master's degree program or PhD students, a number of whom are from other countries. Where do we have people from now? Japan, Malaysia? I don't remember, I don't keep track. But we have a number of students from other countries. And you'll have help from the English Language Learning Program, the International Student Scholars Office, my college. My college has many years of experience, and my university does, with having international students with us. It's something we're very proud of, is the way we can do that. Oh, somebody always asked me, what's the weather like? And we have all 4 seasons. We have a beautiful spring with some rains and beautiful flowers growing and temperatures warming. We have summers that can be quite warm and sometimes humid, but they're beautiful because you get to go out to the lakes and swim and run in the woods and do all those things. And then we have the beautiful falls like we have now, where the leaves all change color. It's the most beautiful time of the year. The temperatures are cooling, and it's a wonderful time of the year to go out, to be outdoors. I happen to love being in the outdoors. I do a lot of it, and you will too, I think, once you get to be there. And then we have this thing called winter, where we walk on the lakes, and we go ice fishing. That does not mean we go fishing for ice. That is, we drill holes in the ice and fish through the holes in the ice. There is one lake in Minnesota that 2 years ago had 5,000 ice houses on the lake. So these are houses that people go and stay in for a weekend or a day or a night and fish through holes in the ice, take them home and eat them. The winters can be very cold. I won't kid you about that. It can be very, very cold. But we dress for it, and I love the winters. It's one of the reasons I won't leave, is I change toys. I don't go biking and hiking and canoeing as much. I go cross-country skiing, I go snowshoeing, I do some hunting, and we just do a lot of other kinds of things in the winter. So we just change toys. And I've never had anybody die in the winter. I did have a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, tell me the other day, the first time she was in Thailand, or in the US, she said, I had the idea that you could only see snow with a microscope. And then she came, and of course, you get big snowflakes like this, and snow that goes knee deep, and sometimes this deep, and not much usually above that. But it was very interesting. So the experiences of winter, the Thais that I have had there find it just fascinating because it's so different from here. And it's fun. We like it. You saw the dogs pulling a sled. That's something we do in Minnesota. It's called dog sledding. It's an old Inuit or Eskimo originally. We have dog sled races up on the North Shore of Lake Superior. We're very close to the Great Lakes. So there's lots to do in the winter. Lots of fun. I will be quiet. That's very hard for a professor, but I'll try. I'll try to be quiet. And I'd like you in your tables to each give me one question.
Is it a general question? It's like how many the lowest degree in winter? The lowest.
50 degrees below zero.
Minus 50?
Minus 50. Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. That's very rare.
Oh,
That's very rare.
the minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit?
Minus 50 Fahrenheit is very rare. But it can get that cold. It's not very cold. Did you ever experience that cold? Yeah, you did.
But you feel nothing. When it's very cold, you cannot feel anything.
Yeah, it's so cold and freezing, you don't feel anything. No, seriously, we will instruct you about that because there is some risk of getting frostbite when it gets that bad, but it's not that common. And we just go anyway. It doesn't matter.
And what kind of transportation around campus?
That's a good question. We have a good bus system on the campus, very excellent. We have many bike paths, and since you were there, we now have bikes that you can pick up one place for a small cost and ride to someplace else and leave it there. That's a very nice system. A lot of people will buy used bikes to get around. We have a very good city bus system also. Taxi cabs are too expensive. We have taxis, but not for me. There is also a line that's on the ground, but it's a little bit like SkyTrain that goes some places in the city, and it's being developed more. And I think you will have help with transportation from other students, perhaps families, people you meet. We have to think about and worry about that a little bit to be sure it's okay. But we'll take care of it. We won't make you walk too far when it's 50 below.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Are there any Thai foods in campus?
Oh, good question. I won't live someplace without Thai food. There actually are quite a number of quite a large number of Thai restaurants, and some of them are really good. One of my favorites is the Tap King and I. There's a variety of Thai restaurants. There are Southeast Asian markets in one area where many of the Hmong have come from Laos, usually through Thailand. And so that has been a very nice addition to the community, are pretty good places to buy Thai foods. So it's been okay, I think, to do.
When we study graduate from this program, we will receive the certificate, right?
Yeah, you will get two things. Because of the way we're arranging the program, you will get both a certificate and you will get a transcript with the course, official transcript, which I didn't know until 2 days ago, with the courses listed, grades, and so on. So you will have an official record of this experience. That's a very good question. Very important.
And this certificate we can use to teach in another country.
I don't know the answer to that.
USA.
You would not. I don't know. The reason is that your different countries, and in my country, each state has very different regulations about what coursework and experiences are required. So I cannot give you a clear answer to that. I can say it almost certainly will help, sometimes a lot, but I can't guarantee that it's transportable like that. I want from another table first. This is from the volcano Mount St. Helens. Volcanic ash from Mount St. Helens.
So do you have any insurance? Health insurance?
I'm sorry?
Health insurance. Like, I still didn't hear it. It's the echo. Do you have any health insurance when you are staying?
Oh, yeah. You will have insurance through my university for the university hospitals and clinics. And our university hospital is one of the best in the world. And the Twin Cities area is a leader in medical technology and in medical research and practice. You will not be unhappy with the medical care. It's outstanding. And you will have a very good insurance program through the university for medical care.
What about the cost of living there? Is it expensive?
The answer is more expensive than Thailand. Because, like here, I don't spend much money because I eat street food all the time. don't have that so much. The cost of living in the schools, we know that you need, the federal government and my university requires that you have $1,300 a month in order to pay transportation, housing, food, and that is okay. Our planning for the program, though, is that you will get $1,500 a month. Partly because I want you to be able to go some places outside of Minneapolis and St. Paul, like to a national meeting, maybe during a holiday, you can go visit. Some of you may have friends in the U.S. Go to some other place. And so that we can get you maybe a little better housing. I think the transportation costs will be a little more because you won't be driving. But you can do it. We will plan for that. When I had more weight than I do now, and I still have too much, the Thai students in the schools call me Santa Claus.
About the cost of living, you say that you're going to support like around $1,500.
Yeah, we think it will be 1,500. We're working on the details. But IPST gets you that money. You don't pay that out of your pocket. It's part of your program.
So about the housing or parking, this one, the university already kind of also
Yeah, then in the calculation of $1,300 a month or $1,500 a month, we hope, that the cost of housing is already included in that. The university has to study that for purposes of granting visas and knowing where people will stay. We started to have a problem 20 years ago with people coming to the U.S. with not enough money to live there. And it got to be a big enough problem that we had to put in minimum amounts of money that have to be guaranteed.
So, if we got into this program, how long will you study in your university?
Oh, 20 hours a day. Now you would come in, we're hoping you can come in the middle of July and stay until the middle of May. What is that, 9-10 months? Something like that.
Thank you so much.
But you might not be able to come till September. We're not sure yet how the schedules will work, but something like that. 9 or 10 months.
Thank you so much.
Should we have to do research classroom when I teaching in high school?
I'm sorry, say again, please.
Should we have to do research classroom project when I teaching at high school?
Now let me talk about your teaching at the high school. That's what Santa Claus says. When you're teaching in the schools, we don't know exactly how much time you will actually be responsible for a classroom because our teachers are under the same pressures that your teachers are for tests and being sure the curriculum is covered. We're not sure yet, but we will be certain that you will do some teaching. And as much as we can, as the schools can allow for. And I will require that they allow a good amount. I won't use the school if they won't. In terms of doing research, the research study, like I said, are going to be, there'll probably be 2 or 3. One will be fairly small, like I said. You will maybe watch teachers' interactions with the students, record things like they say. We'll bring those back, talk about them, the patterns, that kind of short research. But I probably will also try to teach you to do what is called action research or practical research. And that is to do a a little larger study, not master's degree thesis like, something smaller than that, and to help you get deeper into your experience. So you will probably pick a topic, you will probably use our library to do some research in that. It will not be a complete research in the library. So it will be more like a paper that you would do for a course. And we'll help you, I'll help you pick topics and subjects and work your way through that and teach some of the methods and techniques we use for this kind of research. I think that you're doing practical research in your classroom. Simple, direct things that you can use to understand your students and what they're learning better is a very important professional tool. It's something I would like to see required in teacher practice. Some of our schools, and I know it's possible here because I'm working with somebody doing this, you can get promotions in your teaching by these kinds of projects. So if we can help you come to understand some of the ways of doing it, it's a professional skill you can bring back. We're not going to try to make you researchers. I'm many years old and I'm still learning about that, so we're not going to try to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, I will ask about the place to travel. What's place to travel? What's the most beautiful place we can travel in the Minnesota?
That's a good question. The United States is huge, as you know. It's a very big place. And the answer to that is it depends on the kinds of things you would go. I love being in the wilderness. So I tend to go, in the past I've done a lot of backpacking in national parks. I've backpacked the Grand Canyon twice, gone down into the Grand Canyon and up the other side. Go to the big national parks, they are beautiful. We also have excellent parks right in Minnesota up on what we call the North Shore. This is the north part along Lake Superior, the largest freshwater lake in the world. If you want to go to interesting cities, there are many. I like Chicago. Chicago is not too far away. Pretty easy to get around in, and a lot of arts and museums and aquaria. It's a really wonderful place. And I can probably show you. If you come, I can get you. We can go behind the scenes at the Adler Planetarium because I'm working on a research program with the Adler Planetarium in Chicago. New York City is an interesting place. New Orleans is an interesting place. And these cities all have very different characters. So the country is so varied in ecology and in culture that almost any place, lots of different places. I just got back from Seattle. I took a trip and stayed with a friend of mine that I've only seen 3 times since 1975. I've only seen her 3 times. And my wife and I went to see her and spent 2 weeks out there. So, coastal cities, interior cities, all kinds of places. It's not the best place to go. I would help you. We would talk about what you'd like to see, what kinds of things, and I'll help you make recommendations. For a fee?
Thank you.
I know that's not very exact, but it's so big and so complicated and so different from one place to another. You traveled something? Yeah, you traveled a lot. Where did you go? Which one did you like?
Florida, New York, Washington DC.
Washington DC is magnificent.
Grand Canyon, Yellowstone. I like Yellowstone.
You went to Yellowstone.
Yeah. Niagara Falls and Disney.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we make a trip to Yellowstone because my family loves it out there, and so do I. And I can just tell my university that, well, I have these students I have to take care of, and so we have to go to Yellowstone. You thought you were getting a present? Nah.
May I ask you one question?
You can ask two if you
Yeah.
like.
Okay, thank you. You said in spring semester, you said we will teach in 9, 10, 11, or 12th grade, right?
Yeah, in the spring semester, let me think. I believe it's 12 credits. It's 4 credits for the course and 12 credits for the experience in the schools.
Okay, and what subject should we teach in science? Is it specific?
Yeah, that's a good question. His question was, what subject will he teach? What is your field of study when you were undergraduate?
In chemistry.
You'll teach in chemistry.
Okay.
Or you probably will teach physical science maybe, and some chemistry.
Okay.
And chemistry.